This is Bethel Memorial Park, an historic burial ground that has served the Black community in Huntington from 1927 to 1974. Regrettably, it has been abandoned for nearly half a century.
I came here in 1980. I moved to Huntington in 1985, and after I got around in the community, I found that someone had mentioned there was a black cemetery up at called it Bethel, so I had no idea where it was.
Recently, efforts have been underway to restore the dignity of Bethel, but it hasn't been easy.
It seemed periodically, every 10 years, someone would get a conscience, and they would say, let's go up and clean the cemetery. But then 10 years would pass again and nothing done. And then it was a recurring, let's do this, and then the recurring, okay, we've done our job. And so now, with this intent to sustain the dignity of the cemetery, I'm really excited about that. So we formed this group with Friends of Bethel, it's a loosely formed group. Of course, now we have incorporated as the Bethel Cemetery Preservation Society. There are numerous markers, I call them tombstones, that are in disrepair. They're falling over. Saddened to me that there is just a large number of military veterans that are buried there, and they have the military tombstones. One from the Spanish-American War, which was really interesting to me. So there's a need to clear, and then a need to maintain. But then the tombstones, the markers, we want to do what we can to restore those. We'd also like to have eventually have that cemetery placed on the National Historic Registry, and so make it a part of a tour. It'd be great to have a tour here in Huntington, with it being such a prominent place for the Underground Railroad transportation. So a Black History tour would be marvelous. I did not know anyone up there. As I said, I came here in '85, and I think the last marker that I remember seeing was 1973. But I know when I saw names, there was a lady, Mother Lula Phillips, very prominent. She was actually a female pastor here in Huntington at a time where female pastors were not accepted. But she was the pastor, I think the founder of what is called the Original Glorious Church of God in Christ. In the Black church, in a lot of cases, senior women were referred to as Mother so-and-so. And so I saw several markers with Mother, whoever on it, but then I was not able to distinguish whether those were people that had that honorary title from the church or whether they were actually someone's mother. Because I think some of them were, some of the families said, this is my mother, Martha, and the children he'll hear. But there are some wonderful, wonderful names there. I saw someone up there named Fain, and I called Cicero. I said, "Is this your people up here?" He said, "It's probably my grandfather."
So that would be my great grandmother. This would be my great grandfather. Or there's also Maud, I think. Mary. Yeah, Mary Rebecca.
So there's a marvelous history of Huntington. I think that is to be uncovered there at the cemetery. But whatever we can do to inspire a consciousness among the people, not just the African Americans, but the white population also, that this is important for the dignity of these individuals who have passed on, the dignity of their family. People need to be able to come back to Huntington and visit the grave sites of their family members just as they would at any other cemetery. I think the thing is that we need to raise that consciousness, the level of consciousness of the people, and say, look, I can get involved at whatever level. It doesn't take much time. You don't have to spend the entire day. Just say, I can give an hour, I can give 2 hours, I can give 3 hours, or whatever, once a month, or whatever time might be available. We'd like to bring some of those high school students in. It's amazing. I have our brotherhood from our church went over Memorial Day and purchased some flags from Walmart, little flags, and we went up to stick them on the graves. And Members of our congregation that are in their 45, 50 years old had no idea. The African Americans had no idea. That's where you probably have relatives up here. So yeah, that awareness is critical to sustaining this effort that we want to, because we're getting out of the way. So big thing is that I would like to see the exposure to the fact that there is a Bethel Cemetery and what it's all about, and then to raise the consciousness of the people to support and maintain it.